Hey y'all, Biohack here. A while back, I started thinking about some of the top quality of life improvements I wanted to see for the enhancing system in BDO, and I was thinking about making a video on it, and I never actually got around to it. But one of the items on that list was actually added in the most recent patch on Wednesday, and I didn't think it was added very well. So that kind of gave me the impetus to finally get around to making this video, which is my top 10 improvements in terms of quality of life for the enhancement system. Now, I want to be clear, when I talk about quality of life improvements, I specifically mean sort of small changes that make it a little bit easier and a little bit friendlier to go through the enhancing process. I'm not interested in like redesigning the whole process or whatever. I know a lot of people have very charged emotions about the enhancing system in this game, and basically if any suggestion would change the price of an item based on enhancing, and that's sort of a different discussion. Here, I'm looking mostly at sort of simple things that I would like to see in the enhancing system to make it easier to use, not necessarily to change any of the prices or any of the odds or anything like that. So I just want to make that clear, since I know a ton of people in the comments are going to say stuff about that anyway. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, I'm not going to lie, I kind of had to struggle to come up with 10 of these, so some of these are pretty minor things that I would like to see improved, and we're going to get to the more important ones at the end. But the first one on the list is a pretty simple one. It only really applies in scenarios where you want to use fossils to get your base fail stacks instead of blackstones. But when that's the case, it would be really, really nice if when you click this Advice of Valks button, and it pulls up the Pearl inventory screen, if it didn't do that, because it's really annoying to have to go here, click on your stack, and then swap back to your inventory to come back here. We don't need this. I never want to use this interface at all, this window at all when I'm enhancing. I want to go boom, boom, boom. Well, I don't want to have to click this. I want to go boom, boom, and I want to click my reblath. Get rid of this extra click. And a lot of the changes you'll see in this video are things that are just designed to get rid of these unnecessary extra clicks. So that's the first one on the list. Don't open the Pearl window. Keep it on the inventory window. Thank you. All right, next one on the list. I would love to see the cooldown on large stack swapping be reduced a little bit. It's a pretty common practice when enhancing to do something like grab a big stack, say click some pen reblath attempts on it to boost the stack up a bunch. It's like, oh, okay, I got enough inventory space now, and now I want to go back, and I got to sit here, and I got to wait for 25 seconds, or it's a 30-second cooldown in total, however long it takes you to click your reblath after that. I realized there may be some issues with this. It used to be 10 minutes, which was absurd. I mean, it was a huge pain in the butt, so it's a lot better at 30 seconds. But if we could get it down to like 15 or 20, that would be really nice just to address this issue. Again, pretty low on the list. It's a number 9, but it would be nice if it was a little bit shorter. I would appreciate it. All right, next one on the list, get rid of the little R notification you get when you acquire a piece of gear that's technically an upgrade, but not really an upgrade. Like all the time in enhancing, you'll come to the market, you'll be like, okay, I want to make some distortions. All right, let me go walk back over to the vendor. Oh no, I accidentally equipped this gear because I hit R when I was trying to interact with the vendor, too quickly. Like, this happens all the time. And the thing is that this isn't just annoying when we're talking about enhancing. It's also annoying, like, with life skill gear and with, like, a ton of other stuff. Like, if you've been playing the game for more than a day, this little notification that you have a gear upgrade is super useless and super annoying, and you don't want it there. Give us the option to turn it off. Why does that exist? It just annoys people, and it's irrelevant after, like, your first 2 days playing the game. Stop it. Get rid of it. It's stupid. All right, next one on the list. I want to be able to swap out my stacks or my items while enhancing without having to take out the item that was previously upgraded. So here I am in this situation. I just hit this thing to duo. I want to start making another duo. Why do I have to click here and then move it instead of just clicking this again? Like, just give me the option to replace items in this window after a successful upgrade with the next thing I want to enhance. Get rid of this click. It doesn't need to exist. It's pointless. It's annoying. No reason to be there. Fix it. All right, here's another one. This enhancement window doesn't stay where I place it. If I move it over here, and then I start enhancing, it jumps around. If I move it over here, it jumps around. Like, why can't I just get this thing to actually stay where I want it to? Why does it always have to go and sit on this exact line right here? Like, what if I wanted to bring my enhancement window, like, up like this so that I could, like, quickly do some sort of system like this? I can't do it. If I take things out and I move around, it's always going to move around. It's super annoying. I don't know. Clearly, like, something's wrong here. This is a bug. But, like, why? It's annoying. Fix it. I want to have freedom to move it around wherever I want. If I want it here, I want it here. If I don't want it there, let me move it. Let me do whatever I want. So dumb. Fix it. All right. Next one on the list. Get rid of the animation when opening boxes of costumes. This is the dumbest shit ever. Like, fortunately, if you're unaware, you can equip a fishing rod or a musket to cancel the animation to get rid of this. But we shouldn't have to do that. It's really annoying. It also means that people end up taking off their weapon outfit and then accidentally extracting it for crons. And this was especially problematic before the locking of the outfits. It's so dumb. Like, what is this animation here for? Like, no one cares about the animation from opening a costume. It would also be great if we could just extract the boxes for crons directly without having to open them first. But still, if you're going to make us actually open the costumes, why does this animation exist? It would take ages to actually go through this process one at a time to get a decent number of cron stones if it wasn't for the fact that we could skip the animation. The animation shouldn't exist. It's pointless. Get rid of it. All right, next item on the list is getting rid of unnecessary and useless warnings. I feel like the developers of PA, the developers of BDO, feel like if there's a warning there, it's somehow helpful. But there's an extreme amount of warning fatigue in this game where warnings just basically become useless and you just ignore them because they pop up all the time, even then when they're not necessary. So, like, one of the things people do all the time is they accidentally repair their reblath with memory fragments. And you know why? It's because this useless warning shows up every single time you repair your reblath, no matter what. So this warning just becomes completely pointless. It just becomes something you mindlessly click without thinking, without reading. It serves no purpose. Now imagine if this warning only showed up if I was going to use like a memory fragment to repair a reblath or something that a normal player wouldn't normally want to do. Like, you need to think about why these warnings exist and think about how players actually play the game. No player ever needed this warning when repairing a reblath with another reblath. It's just a pointless warning. Other warnings that are like a little bit more useful but still kind of useless are things like exchanging blackstones that just add unnecessary busy work. Why do I have to click this button, right? Like, yeah, sure, I can just click there and hit space, but like, why? I've already had to select the stack, come over here and click the apply button. This warning is useless. Like, it doesn't do anything. Get rid of all these nonsense warnings and think about how players actually play the game and only put warning messages when there's something they're doing that's weird or that they shouldn't do. I shouldn't be getting warnings as part of my normal play all the time because I'll just become desensitized to them and click them no matter what unthinkingly. It's super pointless. Get rid of all these useless warnings. They don't serve a purpose. They actually are actively harmful compared to actual warnings that would be useful. All right. So far, we've mostly been dealing with pretty minor issues, things that are, they're a little annoying, but it's not really that big a deal. But now we're starting to get more into the territory of things that are actually like pretty annoying and that should be fixed. And this is the one where Pearl Abyss indicated that they were actually going to fix it in the most recent patch, and the way they did was really disappointing. And what I want them to do, and what they talked about doing, was remembering the resource you used on the last Blackstone exchange, basically. So what they added is, normally what you had to do before is you had to click here, and then you'd have to say click here, and then click apply, and then you do your enhancing or whatever. And then you'd come back and you'd get another stack, and you'd have to click here again. Well, they added this option to apply just the previous stack, so it remembers not only the resource but also the actual stack. Unfortunately, that's way less useful because you need to change which stack you want to start with. Like last time I wanted to start with a 35 stack. Now I want to start with a 15 stack, right? And I want to go here, but I have to go back and I have to click this button again and select my stack. What I would prefer is every time I click this, open it up like this window. Remember the resource and keep this window open. I don't need you to remember the exact stack I use because that's a lot less useful than just having the option to go boom, click the stack I want. Boom, here. Boom, here. You know, that kind of thing. Don't make me reopen this window over and over and over again, especially since I'm going to have to do it every single time. Like I basically, every time I click this button, I want this window to be open. Almost universally. Now, maybe sometimes I can use this button instead, but it's just like too much mental energy. It's way easier just to go boom, 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 and just keep the same pattern over and over again. I want to go fast. Give me this window already open when I click the button. That would be so helpful. Don't just remember the exact stack I use. Remember the resource. Give me the window, please. All right, next one on the list that's a major annoyance, and it's so dumb. It's so easy to fix. But why are these buttons hilariously long and extremely short in their like their height versus their width? Like, what is going on here? How does this make any sense? The amount of times you'll come in and you'll get a stack and then you'll click the skip animation button instead of the enhance button. It's like over and over and over again. Oh yeah, and then it moves when you actually put an item in there. It's like, what is going on here? Why are they so short in the Y direction and so long in the W or the X direction? Like, make these buttons, first off, force enhance does not need to be a big button. That could be like a tiny little tick box. It could be even smaller than this. Skip enhance, same thing. Like, you only want to click those buttons like fairly rarely. You don't need them to have these huge buttons like they're easy to find in like when a high speed enhancing environment. Like, the enhance button's the only one I care about. Give me that one large. Don't give me the rest of these super large either. And this shows up in other places too. When we're going in the repair window, right? We want to recover our durability. Why is like the artisan button so big? Like the artisan button could literally just be like this little part here, and this whole button could be the continuous. This is what I want to use like 99% of the time. I just want to go here. I want to go here. I don't want to keep pulling up this window, accidentally clicking the check artisans button. And here's the thing, like you could argue like, oh, maybe they're doing that on purpose to sell artisans, because people have definitely been scammed a bunch of times, which is pretty shitty. But the result is like, I hate enhancing with artisans. Like, even the free artisans I get, I almost never use them because I accidentally end up selecting this button and using them on like Reblath and stuff. So like, even if I wanted to spend money and purchase artisans, I would never do it because I'd end up wasting them all repairing Reblath because this stupid button is here and I end up clicking it all the time. It's so annoying. There's no reason for this to be so tiny in the Y direction and so long. Like, make these 3 buttons that are like squares, not right on top of each other. Ugh, so like, I feel like this is just stuff that people do and they like don't actually play the game, and so they don't use these systems and they don't realize just how annoying like such a simple thing can be when you're doing it over and over and over again. Like, it's so dumb. Get rid of it. Just change the button layout. It would make my life so much easier. All right, now it's time for the #1 issue. To be honest, this issue is the entire reason I made this video. It is 10 times more important than every other item on this list. It's not even close. Like, way more problematic. And that is repairing Reblath. It's the dumbest mechanic in the game. It's super annoying, and it serves no functional purpose anymore. Either, there's 2 ways to fix it. One, get rid of max durability on Reblath. Like, it doesn't need to exist. Like, sure, there's some tiny amount of silver that gets used to repair the Reblath, but it's completely inconsequential. It doesn't matter. Get rid of it. Great. That's a perfect system. Okay, if you don't want to do that, give us the option to repair all of our Reblath with a single button. Just like we can repair all of the actual durability that's off of our items with a single button, give us the same option to repair all of our Reblath with a single fixed silver value in the same way. And when I say repair the Reblath, I'm talking about the maximum durability on the Reblath. Going through this process over and over and over again, and then coming back into the vendor and needing to buy a bunch more bases, and then going back and repairing it over and over and over again. It wastes so much time. It slows you down so much, and it's just completely pointless. Like, it serves no purpose in the game. It's just a super dated mechanic. It's a huge waste of time. And you know what's even worse is I think Pearl Abyss doesn't understand how especially bad this is for people with high ping, because they have good internet in Korea. But if you're playing on like the West Coast, or even worse, the like a European trying to play on the North American server, cough Biceptimus Prime. I actually talked to him about this issue, and he was excited that I was going to make this video, and told me to, use one of the clips of him enhancing recently just to demonstrate how bad it is trying to enhance Reblath with high ping. It takes forever. It's literally like tick, 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 tick. And when you need to do like hundreds of them over the course of an enhancing session, thousands of them if you're someone like me, it just becomes impossible. Like, I actually went on vacation and I was in Europe, and I thought about doing some enhancing like during my downtime on my laptop, and it was completely impossible. Like, I couldn't do it. It would take me ages to get anywhere, because every single Reblath repair has to have its own interaction and ping to the server, and it just becomes such a headache. It's a totally useless mechanic. It's horrible for people with high ping. It serves no purpose in the game. It's the number one thing, absolutely. If Pearl Abyss watches this video, if they take nothing else, please get rid of max durability on Reblath, or give us a way to repair it all with one click and one call to the server, because it's such a pain in the butt as it exists right now. Please fix it. I'm going to show you the clip from Biceptimus just to give you a comparison of what his is like, and then we'll jump in and see what it's like when I have to repair it super quick. All right, if we watch this video, you'll see him like click on, look at this Reblath with 90 durability. Look at how long this takes. Like, it's like 3, 4, 5 seconds just to repair one Reblath. This adds up so quickly as you're doing lots and lots of enhancing, and it's so annoying. It's so pointless. I feel so bad for people who try and enhance with high ping. This has got to be so frustrating. And when you're playing on a server like North America, which is really big, it's a lot of people who play on your server are going to have this problem. All right, I've burned some of my Reblath. Now I want you to compare what it looks like when you're doing it with high ping versus what you're doing it with low ping, or when you're doing it with low ping. Look, it's crazy how much faster this is, right? Like, I can repair everything pretty quick. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still super annoying, even for players with high ping, because you have to go through this process over and over and over and over and over again. But even worse for people with low ping, like actually like almost unplayable if your ping is bad enough. It just slows you down so much if you want to do a lot of enhancing. So get rid of max durability on Reblath. Like I said a million times, it's a useless mechanic. It contributes nothing to the game. The amount of money it costs to do is completely trivial in 2023. Just get rid of it, or if you're worried about the money, just give us the option to repair in one click. Either one of those I'd be totally happy with, but please don't let the system stay like it is. I think that's going to be it for me. If you like this list, subscribe to the channel, give a thumbs up to this video. Hopefully we can get some attention from Pearl Abyss, and we can get some of these changes put into the game. It does seem like they are interested in doing a lot of quality of life. Like I said, a number of things on this list, or things that were on this list that have been taken off, have come into the game in recent times. So it does seem like they're interested in making some of these changes, but I don't think they have anyone on their team who's like really, really using the enhancement system every day, hardcore. And so a lot of these things that may seem like pretty subtle things, they probably just don't appreciate how annoying they are to someone who has to use this UI all the time. But thank you for watching this video. Probably get you some more enhancing content in the future. Be sure to tune in live if you want it, and we'll be uploading some highlights when we get them from the stream. So thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video.